Out there.
The news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us on this Thursday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
Get out the winter coats, boy. It is chilly.
Yeah, the first time all year long, well, I guess it's all season long, my heat turned on automatically overnight. I could hear it turn on and I'm thinking, oh, wow, it must be cold outside. Sure enough, it is. Here's a look at those temperatures as you head outside this morning, and yes, it is a cold start. We begin at 38 in Rome, 34 Hamilton, 25 brisk degrees up in Saranac Lake. We zoom in a little closer here. It's 34 Inlet, 32 Outer Lake, 30 up in Lowville, in the mid-30s in Little Falls and Dolgeville, and in the 30s in Washington Mills and in Westmoreland. Down to the south, 33 Sherburne, 36 Cooperstown, and 39 degrees in Oneonta. A live look at cameras all across central New York. We're seeing mainly quiet conditions, not a whole lot of fog, but still, it's quiet, it's dry, it's chilly this morning. And we climb into the mid-60s this afternoon, so a similar high to yesterday. Not very hot, not very cold either, but as we progress throughout the next few days, we're going to start to see that warm trend kick back in again. We're not shaking this summer-like weather pattern, especially as we head into the weekend. We're going to talk about that, plus when our next chance of any rainfall is going to be. We'll have a map of when it arrives and how much you could see in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. A 29-year-old...
Welcome back to Sunrise, everybody. Getting you set to head out the door to work today. And this morning, for one, it is just downright cold out there. You might want to budget some extra time, not only maybe scraping some quick frost off your windshield, but also on top of that, bundling up as you head outside. Now, I don't think it's nearly as widespread of a frost that we could be expecting, say, a month or two from now, but some locations could see that frost early today. Either way, aside from the cooler conditions, it's a dry morning out there. A live look at some roadways and a look at the traffic flow. Green across the board, no accidents to report of anywhere across the Mohawk Valley. So today, heading outside, bundle up. Temperatures beginning in the 30s as we head throughout the afternoon, warming up into the 60s with plenty of sun, not a drop of rain expected, and nearly cloudless skies, too. As we approach the rest of the week into the weekend, we're going to see those temperatures climb a little bit more, but following this weekend, there are some trends pointing toward a pretty notable rainfall and a strong cold front. We're going to track that in a lot more detail coming up in a few short minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Saturday is Wildlife Day.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. Time now is 5:19, and today starting out on the chilly side, but we'll see plenty of sun this afternoon. A live look at downtown Utica. Pretty nice sight there along the city's skyline. You see the colors pink there. Of course, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So you can see, of course, the pink starting to light up the skyline right there out in the distance. That's a great thing to see there. A lot of people affected by it, millions affected by it, and it's just great to see there's still support for it. 38 degrees, the temperature here with clear skies, refreshing humidity this morning, dew point of 34. There are some locations of frost. In fact, just in the last minute or so, I put a call out on social media. If you have any reports of frost, please let me know so I can let everyone else know where that frost is forming. I looked at some more high-resolution temperature maps, and there are some spots, even in Utica itself, which are pushing 33, 34 degrees, cold enough for frost to form. High pressures in place here today. We do have some clouds rolling in, but either way, those clouds are very light. We'll still see plenty of sunshine. With the cold start this morning, it's a hint of fall with that pumpkin spice forecast. But we do climb up into the 60s by this afternoon. Excuse the 74. We're looking at mid-60s here this afternoon. So, again, we got a hint of fall throughout the day today with high temperatures climbing into, again, those mid-60-degree temperatures. So, we look ahead throughout the next few days, and the great news when it comes to outdoor weather is there's not a whole lot of rainfall. Well, the bad news is there's also not a whole lot of rainfall for any of you who desperately need rain. And that's just been a common sight for the past several months, pretty much all summer long and now entering fall itself. And here's a look at that rainfall pattern. So between now and Monday night into Tuesday next week, you can see here a lot of locations except the Northeast seeing rainfall. That will change as we head into Tuesday night into Wednesday. We have that cold front moving in. It's a pretty substantial one. And there's a lot of signals pointing to it moving in, so there's not a whole lot of inconsistencies with it not arriving. The timing's still up in the air, but we know it's arriving at least by the middle of next week, so stay tuned for that. But again, short-term forecasts, it's quiet, a few wispy clouds today, temperatures in the 60s. And as we look ahead throughout the rest of the weekend, it's looking beautiful. Upper 70s Saturday, low 80s on Sunday. If you're making a trip into the Adirondacks, a little cooler. Upper 60s, low 70s Saturday, and then mid 70s to low 70s on Sunday. And again, as I mentioned, by next week, we're going to see a cold front move in. We go from the 80s down into the 60s by Wednesday, with hopefully some beneficial rain across the area. And despite all that rain we saw last week, Gary, a lot of these water levels are back down. In fact, some spots even lower than before we had that rainfall. So we had a lot of that rain, but it just wasn't enough just yet.
We'll be getting it.
Yep.
No matter when. The time right now is 5:22. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Libitor. Get ready to be cool this morning. It is downright cold out there. Eric, we're approaching freezing, right?
Yeah, some spots already dipping below freezing. In fact, how about 25 in Saranac Lake, Gary? Nice balmy start to the day today. Here's a look at some of the local temperatures, though, across the area. 38 degrees in Rome, 34 in Hamilton, 32 up in Watertown, and 38 in Johnstown. We zoom in a little closer here. 32 Otter Lake, 34 in Dolgeville and in Little Falls, and 35 in Washington and Washington Mills. To the south we go, 33 degrees in Sherburne, 38 degrees in Richfield Springs, and 35 in Cooperstown to start your day. It is a quiet morning out there. No true fog to report at this hour. I'm going to do a deep dive in the satellite feed here in a second. But for now, for the most part, we're expecting clear, dry conditions early today. Lots of sun moves in this afternoon. Temperatures peaking in the mid-60s. Now we have some warmer days ahead of us, some dry days too, especially as we head into the weekend. We're going to track that, plus those rain chances, any notable rain that moves in next week, the timing of it, and how much rain we could see in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. It is day 2 of the government shutdown.
News Channel 2 is brought to you by Holland Farms Bakery in Delhi.
Welcome back, everybody, to Sunrise on this Thursday morning. Our photo of the day today takes us up to Fourth Lake in the Adirondacks of a beautiful scene of kayaking in the middle of the lake here. And this is a great photo here, not only of the foliage here in the distance, what appears to be somewhat of a sunset there, and that gorgeous lighthouse there in the foreground. So one of the best areas, personally, the fact that you can just go up, drive a couple hours, or if you already live up in the Adirondacks and you're tuning in right now, and just head out and kayak in one of the most beautiful areas in all of the country. It's something to brag about, especially for our area. So shout out to those of you watching from locations along Route 28, along the lakes from First Lake all the way up to 7th Lake. If you have a photo like this you'd like to share with us, send it to WKTV.com/weather/pics. Now today, it's a frosty one out there. Coming up in a few minutes, I'll be talking about what locations already reported frost from all of you. Again, thank you for your reports. And then on top of that, a forecast throughout the rest of the week, warming up with potential for rain next week. All those details coming up in a few minutes. Gary.
Eric, thanks. Little Falls will be holding its...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. On this Thursday, we begin today on the chilly side across the area. A live look in Cooperstown this morning. I'm going to go through some locations already reporting frost. There's some frost in Oriskany Falls, Cassville, Sherburne, both, of course, yesterday and today. Westford, Ilion, Boonville, and it appears Turin as well as South Edmondson. So we do have some frost reported in a lot of parts of the area this morning. So again, just if you didn't take your plants in already, well, hopefully no frost has formed just yet. But there's a lot of frost reported across a lot of the area. So this is all driven by high pressure, allowing all that air near the surface to cool down rapidly and escape out to outer space. Those clouds are what prevent it from cooling down that suddenly, as well as, of course, any humidity in the atmosphere, which is very low today. So it's a taste of fall today. Temperatures in the 40s by 8, 9 a.m., into the 60s by noontime. Ignore the 70-degree temperature, still haven't fixed it yet, but still a hint of fall expected for today's pumpkin spice level. And another thing that is a kickoff to fall too, the annual Little Falls Cheese Festival. And yes, last year weather was phenomenal. How about this? This year, 70s, sunshine, a light westerly wind. No excuse not to go this year with how nice this weather is going to be. So again, head out to Little Falls this weekend from 10 to 5. Enjoy some great cheeses and other tasty foods from local vendors. The forecast in terms of rainfall for the next few days into Monday and even early Tuesday next week, unimpressive. A lot of rainfall locations, but you see the outlier here in the Northeast. We just are not seeing an active storm path or rainfall path. But as we head into Tuesday night into Wednesday, that's when our next chance of rain arrives from a massive cold front. Now, the signals point to that front arriving pretty consistently. There's not a whole lot of signs saying it's not going to arrive. The timing's still a little bit up in the air, but we're still tracking it at this time. For the next few days, though, it's relatively quiet. Not a whole lot of things to talk about here in the Skycast. Clear skies today. A few passing wispy cirrus clouds. Tonight, lows in the 40s and 30s. Tomorrow, we're back into the 60s, eventually 70s. As a southwest wind begins to move in. That's going to usher in some warmer temperatures, especially by the weekend. Lower elevation Saturday in the upper 70s, low 80s on Sunday. If you're planning on heading to the Adirondacks, it's going to be a little cooler. We're talking closer to upper 70s by Sunday and low 70s, upper 60s by Saturday. So plenty of sun, rain chances potentially arriving next weekend, or next week, I should say. But Gary, I mean, this weekend, gorgeous weather, no excuse not to go to the Cheese Festival or any other local event here with gorgeous weather.
Eat the cheese.
Cheese time.
Eric, thanks. The time right now is 5:54.
With Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Thursday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And maybe a winter coat might be a little much, but it might help too.
Yeah, so just wear something that might keep you warm out there, because this morning it is very chilly out there. Let's take a look at those temperatures. And yeah, Gary, you're not wrong. Look at this. I mean, we have 36 in Rome, 32. It is now at freezing in Hamilton. It's warmed a degree in Watertown at 33, 23 degrees at Saranac Lake. Just going over a few locations this morning with reported frost. Robin reports frost along Route 46 in Boonville. Michael reports Oriskany Falls has some frost. Turin reporting frost from Jess. We have frost reported in Ilion from Justine. Let's see, what else here? We have Boonville with frost from Gary and other locations too. So this is a frosty morning for a lot of locations here all across central New York. We zoom in here, temperatures in the 30s, low 30s, 32 Outer Lake, 34 Dolgeville, Little Falls, 30 at Long Lake, 34 in Washington Mills and in Westmoreland. And then to the south, we have 30-degree temperatures, 32 degrees in Sherburne, 36 Norwich, 37 degrees in Oneonta. So far right now, really not a whole lot of frost or not a whole lot of fog to report early today. The air is just so incredibly dry. We got plenty of clear skies, however. As we head throughout the day today, temperatures are going to climb from the 30s up into the 60s this afternoon with plenty of sunshine on tap. And as we approach the weekend, warming temperatures arriving. We'll have that plus the latest on the rainfall potential next week. Beneficial rain in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. A 29-year-old Otsego County man is facing nearly...
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back to Sunrise. Time now is 6:09, and as you head out to work today, well, the main thing is it is very cold out. Temperatures across the area dipping down into the 30s. So bundle up, grab that extra layer when you head outside. As Gary mentioned at the top of the hour, maybe not quite winter jacket worthy, but definitely a slightly thicker jacket than usually wear this time of year. Maybe even a flannel, or is it too early for that? Who knows? We take a look at roadways this morning. It is dry out there. Frost really the only impact, and it appears to be on the lighter side in some spots. But you might have to budget some extra time to scrape some frost off the windshield, just depending on your location. You can just check outside to see how the frost is looking in your area. But either way, green on the roadways across the board. No accidents to report. This morning, frosty start, temperatures in the 30s. This afternoon, we climb into the 60s with lots of sun, dry weather. And as we progress into the weekend, we're going to see those temperatures climb slowly with some beautiful weather. But there's rainfall chances on the way next week. We're going to track those chances and more coming up in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Saturday is Wildlife Day.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. Time now is 6:19 on this Thursday morning. It is a crisp one out there today. Temperatures in the 30s for a lot of the area. Downtown Utica, a live view out there. Again, a neat display here of the Breast Cancer Awareness Month colors here on some of the downtown buildings. A shout out to the people who changed the colors this morning. Great to see that here in downtown Utica. Temperature of 36 at Griffiths Rome. Refreshing humidity, calm winds. You have these factors right here. This is a telltale sign of frost development with all those categories in the right positions. High pressure in place here too, also driving in that cooler weather. A north wind which has since calmed. To our west, a few clouds, but that's really about it. Not really a whole lot of impacts in terms of any conditions for rainfall or for rain to fall. It's a hint of fall out there today. Temperatures in the 40s and 30s to start. We're in the 60s by the afternoon. So the pumpkin spice level low, but non-zero. And as we're on the topic of dry weather, continuing again and again. I mean, there is some good news here. In fact, if you're heading to the Little Falls Cheese Festival, look at this forecast here. We got 70s and sunshine, a light westerly wind of 5 miles an hour. This is great weather for going out and enjoying all of what local vendors have in terms of cheese and other either foods or even other types of knickknacks that are home to our area here in central New York. So again, weather definitely not an excuse to go out and enjoy the Little Falls Cheese Festival. 10th anniversary, by the way. So when we look ahead for rainfall chances over the next couple of days, you can see here the only area really lacking in terms of rain is in the Northeast, especially New York State. Now, as we head into Tuesday night into Wednesday, watch what happens. A cold front moves in. This could bring in our next chance of beneficial rain. And for now, the signals point to that front moving in. There's a lot of confidence in that arriving, but the timing of it's still up in the air. We're going to fine-tune that as the days get closer, but hopefully we get some beneficial, much-needed rain along that front. Other than that, Skycast really not showing a whole lot of activity today. A few wispy clouds in the upper atmosphere, temperatures in the 60s. Tonight we're down into the 30s and 40s, not as widespread of frost chances like we saw earlier this morning. In fact, temperatures still hovering in the upper 30s, low 40s, with that south wind starting to kick in. And then following that, we're in the 70s by Friday afternoon. Mid 70s to upper 70s by Saturday, low 80s by Sunday, with lots of sunshine both weekend days. Continuing into Monday, rain chances early next week, but I mean, this stretch of weather gets topped off with an amazing weekend. So any plans for fall foliage, the cheese festival, weddings, you name it, if you have something this weekend, the weather's going to be fantastic for
The
it.
smiles just keep on rolling. Eric, thanks. Be sure to like us on Facebook. Good morning once again, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Libertor. If you're getting the kids ready for the bus stop, Eric, it might be good to have a layer or two on this morning.
Yeah, personally myself, I brought out not a winter jacket, but one probably in between a light jacket and a winter one. You might need it today, though. It's very cold. Temperatures across the area beginning in the 30s, in some spots even 20s, 23 degrees. In Saranac Lake, we are 3 degrees, or should say 4 degrees shy of the temperatures being in the teens of the Adirondacks. So you can see how cold it is up there. 36 Rome, 32 Hamilton, 38 Johnstown, 33 Watertown. Areas of patchy fog already confirmed by a lot of you. Thank you for all your reports sent into my social media pages here just to verify if frost is still developing. 32 in Otter Lake, 34 Dolgeville, Little Falls, 34 degrees as well in Westmoreland. As we head south, it's 34 in Hamilton, 37 in Oneonta, and 34 in Cooperstown. Live looking Old Forge. Well, so far not a whole lot of fog. Our Skywatcher Sean in Inlet has said there is fog moving in Inlet. So it is also confirmed on our satellite feeds. Very, very isolated pockets of fog, and that's primarily focused in the Adirondacks. So today, temperatures starting out very cold. We warm up into the 60s this afternoon with plenty of sun. Continue to warm up as we head throughout the next few days. But as we approach next week, there are some signs pointing to some beneficial rain, potentially. We'll track those chances as well as have a forecast in more detail for this weekend straight ahead. Gary.
Eric, thanks. It is day 2 of the government shutdown.
Live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back to Sunrise, everybody, on this Thursday. Our photo of the day today takes us up to Fourth Lake in the Adirondacks. Have a great shot of some fall kayaking here with a beautiful lighthouse in the foreground and some beautiful fall foliage in the background. And shout out to those of you watching from the Route 28 corridor from all the lakes from First Lake up to 7th Lake and beyond. And in the meantime, with this amazing shot of the fall foliage right here, when it comes to the latest fall foliage report, so we have our official maps coming out, but when I looked at our satellite feed yesterday, by the way, the satellites can actually see the detailed map of where the trees are changing, obviously a lot more orange compared to green. And something we've noticed is that a lot of locations up north have some already gray due to the early leaf falling. But in some locations, still in the higher elevations, surrounding bodies of water where the dry stretch has not impacted it nearly as much, the trees are lagging behind. So it's an interesting sight here. We have lots of gray mixed in with some greens and some dulled colors. So it's an interesting sight. We're going to dive into that more, especially tomorrow and throughout the weekend for the fall foliage. But for now, again, still, we've got a cold start and some plenty of sun by this afternoon. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Little Falls will be holding its annual Cheese.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. Time now 6:51, and we begin today on the frosty side in parts of our area. A live look at Oneonta. The sunrise a few moments from now. It's approaching 7 a.m. is when that sunrise officially takes place here locally. But either way, a live look at downtown Utica. I got some pretty colorful clouds mixing in, some high-level cirrus clouds here. As Gary mentioned off camera, it looked like a painting, and he's not mistaken. It looks pretty nice out there early this morning. Conditions, 36 degrees. These ingredients right here, prime for frost to form. Low humidity, calm winds, and just overall clear skies allowing that frost to develop due to high pressure in place here across much of the Northeast. We have a few wispy clouds passing over us today, but besides that, expect still lots of sunshine across the board. So with today's weather starting out on the chilly side, how's that pumpkin spice level? Well, I'm thinking still a hint of fall. It hasn't really felt like fall. Besides the mornings, we've warmed back up into the mid-60s, and there's still been lots of sunshine. Maybe I should raise it to category to almost autumn, but still, it's not quite that level just yet. When we start seeing those 50-degree days, then I'm thinking it's going to be more of those pumpkin spice type weather conditions. Little Falls Cheese Festival takes place this weekend on Saturday, and you couldn't ask for better weather. We're talking 70s, low humidity, lots of sunshine, a light westerly wind. Weather definitely not an excuse to go out and enjoy all of what local vendors have to provide in terms of some great food and some great cheese. So as we look ahead beyond the next few days into the weekend, it's still looking dry. You can see here, New York is the outlier in what will be a lot of rain in a lot of the lower 48, including Canada. But as we head into next week, a cold front, there's a signal for it producing some widespread rainfall. This is a signal that's still there. It's not confident in terms of timing yet, but still, you can see here those rain chances moving in late Tuesday and into Wednesday. We'll fine-tune that forecast as the days get closer. But either way, it's going to be warmer tomorrow. This weekend is looking fantastic weather-wise. Lots of sunshine. And on top of that, just a heads up too, Trenton Falls is open this weekend on top of everything else. And I mean, you couldn't ask for better weather for this. I mean, you only have a couple weekends a year, and when it turns out like this, lots of sunshine, Saturday and Sunday, 9 to 5, plan it out, go visit Trenton Falls, enjoy the beautiful scenery up there.
Great place to walk, that's for sure. Yeah. Beautiful, too. Yesterday was National Meteorologist Eric Gage joining us now. And Eric, after a cold morning, things have warmed up pretty nicely.
Yeah, sun is shining. Temperatures already in the 60s in a lot of our areas. Still, let's take a live look outside from our tower cam. We have some trees up here already have lost their leaves. Still some vibrant colors mixing in with dull colors here on the hill in Deerfield again. But still a lot of locations. It's been just a mix of dull colors, green, even some gray, all due to the lack of rainfall we've seen. Coming up in a few minutes, we'll be talking about that rainfall deficit, where we stand right now, and if there's any more on the way. Still, though, we are hitting the low 60s in the matter of a few minutes here at Rome, 59 officially. 57 in Hamilton, even 56 degrees in Saranac Lake. And this afternoon, highs will be in the mid-60s. Tonight, skies will be clear. We're not expecting that high of a frost chance tonight like it was last night. Only a few outlying areas are likely to see it. But again, as we head into the weekend, we're expecting some warmer temperatures for a lot of outdoor events scheduled this weekend. We'll talk about those, too, coming up in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The Royal Caribbean Cruise.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. Lots of sunshine across the area today after a pretty frosty start. A live look in Oneonta. We do have some wispy cirrus clouds passing over us. That's about as much in regards to cloud cover we'll see today. Just some very high up icy clouds. Temperature 55, so it's a seasonably cool day here across the Mohawk Valley early this afternoon. Same story in downtown Utica, where temperatures so far are still hovering in the upper 50s to low 60s. Currently 59 officially at Griffiths and Rome. Dew point of 40, by the way. We got incredibly dry air over us right now, which that alone allowed us to have that frost potential across the region. High pressure is confidently in place right now, keeping weather quiet and dry all across upstate New York and pretty much all of the Northeast. And this stretch will continue into the weekend. So if you plan on going to any events this coming weekend, recommend the Little Falls Cheese Festival. Temperatures will be in the 60s and 70s. Lots of sunshine. Definitely weather not an excuse to not go and support all these local vendors. When it comes to cheese, pickles, you name it, there's great food to be had by all. And again, it's supporting all the local businesses here. So when we talk about percentage of normal rain we've seen over the past couple of days, you're probably seeing this map, it's all red. Well, it's for this month, so there's only 2 days in the month so far, which is why this is all red. We go back to the last 30 days. We can see here we're still hovering below average. Some sections of Albany, due to that heavy rain we saw about a week or so ago, that is why there's a plus for the last 30 days in the capital region. We go back, let's say, not quite for the entire summer, but about a month beyond that too. We're still hovering well below average for this time of year. So that drought will likely continue into the weekend and for the start of next week. You notice a lot of rainfall taking place in locations outside of the Northeast. But that will change come Tuesday or Wednesday next week, depending on timing. A cold front will move in. This will provide our next shot for seeing widespread rain. This will be a pretty notable cold front, so we know it's going to arrive. We're just going to be focused on the position and the timing of it as it continues its way into our area. But still, we could use that rainfall. The problem is there's so much dry weather that any rain we get after about a week or so, all those effects are already gone. So in our Skycast, really not a whole lot notable today. Wispy clouds, temperatures in the 60s. Tonight we're in the 40s and 30s. Tomorrow a little warmer, highs in the 70s. And as we enter the weekend, as I mentioned, you've got gorgeous weather outside. Not only for example, heading to the Cheese Fest, maybe if you want to go to Trenton Falls for one of the couple of weekends that's open all year long. I know it might have been earlier this year. Actually, I think it was earlier this year. It was closed on one day due to how much rain we had. So kind of a juxtaposition as we have right now. It's been so dry, but still to be open, lots of sunshine.
Yeah, great weekend to hike, that's for sure. Well, as we are now in day 2 of meteorologist Eric Gage joining us now, and Eric, sunshine again here in the Mohawk Valley. People cannot complain that we're not seeing sun right now.
I know, right? It's there's so much sunshine. I mean, it's a little cool out there, but we're going to see some warmer days ahead, especially this weekend. A live look in Cooperstown, a very busy Cooperstown. Usually the crowds start to dwindle following baseball season and, of course, summertime, but still pretty busy down there in Cooperstown right now. It's currently 58 crisp degrees out there. I guess you could call it more fall-like weather. However, as you head throughout the afternoon, temperatures are going to climb into the mid-60s. A live look at some area cameras across central New York. Still a common sight, blue skies. We are now entering almost a week straight of no rainfall. And that trend is likely going to continue as we head into the weekend. Still struggling to hit the 60-degree mark right now, but in the next couple of hours, we'll be likely in the mid-60s, especially in the Mohawk Valley, as you can see here between 2 and 4 p.m. Then tonight, we're going to cool down into the 50s and 40s. Now, tonight will not be nearly as cold as this morning, which brought us a lot of frost to parts of the region. But as we head into the weekend, frost unlikely, if not almost impossible, as we're going to see some pretty warm, almost summer-like temperatures with a lot more of that sunshine. We're going to talk about that. Plus, we're going to be focusing on that rainfall deficit and when our next chance of it is going to arrive coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. A 29-year-old Otsego County.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everybody. After a frosty start, lots of sunshine across our area as our dry stretch enters. Honestly, losing count of how many days we've had just no rainfall. Yes, we had rain late last week, but that dry stretch still continues. Live look in Oneonta. Got some wispy cirrus clouds up there, but still, that's really the only cloud cover we're going to see today. Temperature 57 degrees, so a seasonably cool afternoon here, not only in Oneonta, but in downtown Utica. A few more blue skies to view right here, and the temperature at Griffiths and Rome sitting at 59 degrees. So we're still hovering in the upper 50s. Give it an hour or so, we'll see those temperatures climb a couple more degrees. So high pressure's in place here today, which is keeping our weather dry and sunny. And it's going to remain that way for the next few days heading into the weekend. In fact, something to look forward to this weekend, Little Falls Cheese Festival. You got great weather for it, so definitely not an excuse to go out and enjoy all the great foods, the great arts and crafts that some other tents like to pop up too. Either way, it's a great time to go to it. Again, starts at 10, ends at 5. You got lots of great weather for that too. So when it comes to rainfall deficit, now you see this map here, it says less than 2% rainfall for this month. Again, this month started a couple days ago. So this map here is showing a lot of deficit. But we go to the actual last 30 days, and we can see our actual deficit for pretty much all of September. And as you go farther west, there's a lot less rainfall. Notice some pluses here. In the capital region, of course, we had that rainfall where it dumped 4 or 5 inches of rain in the Catskills and heading toward Albany. So that's where that lack of deficit is showing up right here. But still, locally, we're just lagging behind in larger and larger numbers. We go beyond at least the last 6 months. And yes, there's some less deficits down in the Catskills, but still here locally, we have less than 50% of that normal rainfall. So we look ahead beyond today through the weekend and even early next week, and still one location we don't see any rain. You guessed it, here in central New York. In fact, pretty much all the state and almost all of New England in general. But as we progress throughout Tuesday and Wednesday next week, we're going to see a massive cold front move in. This could bring our next round of much needed rain here into the Mohawk Valley. Still, though, we're going to fine-tune the timing, the impacts of it. We know it's arriving, but the location, all that stuff, we're going to wait for more data to come in regards to that. Still, again, it takes place a week from now. Skycast, nothing really notable today. Lots of sun, temperatures in the upper 50s, low 60s. We're continuing to see more sunshine as we progress throughout tomorrow and again throughout the end of the week and into the weekend. So your 7-day forecast, we've got sunshine on tap for Saturday and Sunday. Lots of events taking place outside. Again, a reminder that Trenton Falls opens this weekend, and there's going to be pretty nice weather. Yeah, there might be a whole lot of water flowing at Trenton Falls, the lack of rain that we've had, but still, the sun will be shining. It's open a couple times a year. Get out and enjoy it, or just enjoy outdoor weather in general while we still have it.
It'll be interesting to see what kind of falls there are.
Yeah.
That's for sure, after all this drought. Well, it is October.